Greetings, everyone. I'm Jonathan. Usual information below. No need to repeat it. But today I want to talk about Black Mesa, the game Black Mesa, because it has been on my brain. I haven't been able to get it out of my brain. So maybe this, like I said, this substitute for therapy, we can actually, work it out of my system a little bit. But no, I am still very much in love with Black Mesa, the game. Even though I beat it technically 2 days ago. I downloaded it Friday with everyone else and beat it Sunday night. Finished it Sunday night. And that doesn't sound that impressive, but remember, I was sick most of the day Saturday, and I couldn't stay conscious more than a few hours at a time, so I really didn't play it much Saturday. So basically, Friday night and Sunday, between that, I beat the game, completed what it is, and I really had a great time with it. But I am personally just floored beyond belief that this game exists, and there's 2 reasons for that. The first reason is that this is a fan-made game. Not just a fan-made game, but a fan-made modern first-person shooter game. Stop and think about that for a second. That's a very impressive thing, because FPSs take very large companies years to make if they're doing large ones. And not only do they take on an FPS, and do a modern one, but they did a recreation / reimagining of one of the best-loved, highest quality, and most importantly, largest single-player FPSs in a long, long time. Half-Life being a game well known for its quality, its scope, its size, its complexity, its intricacy. Probably one of the toughest challenges for a recreation I can imagine. And they took it on, and it took them 8 years. A lot of people believe this game was vaporware, that it was never going to come out, and there was good reason to believe it. They had a lot of setbacks, a lot of delays. But they actually got through it all, and yes, the final version's a little trimmed down. It doesn't have some of the things they'd originally planned, like a co-op single-player campaign, which would have been awesome, but was not practical. And they also don't have anything that takes place on the Zen homeworld at the very end of the game. So basically, if those of you familiar with Half-Life, you jump in the portal, game ends. Supposedly they're doing an update for the Zen homeworld later. Not that I really care, because that was one of the parts of the game I just really didn't enjoy all that much. But they were pretty good at removing parts of the game, or trimming back parts of the game I didn't enjoy, though they still left all those damn jumping puzzles in. But anyways, I digress. One, like I said, it was an amateur creation done by a large group of people working in their spare time for free. But the other reason is because of intellectual property stuff, and copyright in particular. Because this was a game that basically, like I said, is a recreation / reimagining of Half-Life. And Valve, especially in the early years of this, or early years of this fan project, could have said, we're not comfortable with it. We openly encourage modding. We have the software development kits or SDKs. We love it, but just this recreation makes us a little uncomfortable. It's one step too far. And I don't think anyone would have really begrudged Valve. They might have grumbled a little bit, so, oh, they're being uncool. But realistically, I think most people would have recognized, especially if they'd done it early, that it's Valve's choice. They get to make that decision. They said, we don't want this game made. They could have just shut it down at any time and probably not had a whole lot of issue. But instead, they actively blessed the game. They actually promoted it a little bit years ago and have continued to promote it today. They have agreed to allow it to be distributed by their content distribution platform, Steam. They allowed their source engine to be used, the 2007 version, and they used the Valve SDK to make it happen. So basically, everything in this game that wasn't created by a fan was created by Valve. And Valve never said no, but Valve has a very, very good open policy toward letting people use its intellectual property in new and exciting ways. And, they have rules about what you can do with it commercially, like the game Wormholes in iOS. They wrote that guy and said, hey, look, this is obviously a recreation of Portal. Please just make it free. And that was all they asked. They didn't sue him. They didn't really take any legal action, but they asked him to make it free, and he did. So you can go right now on the Apple Store and get Wormholes for free. I haven't played it yet. I've heard it's actually pretty good, but that's a separate issue. But no, Valve has a long history of this, and it's really helped them build a very loyal fan base in a way that other video game companies just don't enjoy it. And to be honest, a lot of fan recreations and fan-made sequels die on the vine because of the problems in developing them, the problems in making them, but also for legal reasons, like the recent Streets of Rage remake, killed by Sega right before release. Really upset a lot of people because Sega waited so long to do that. A similar one, Chrono Trigger follow-up, was killed very, very late in the production process as well. Very similar situation. There's Square Enix behind that one. So most video game companies are not this quote-unquote cool with it. And Valve really has done an awesome job in building fan loyalty this way. And it just goes to show that, yes, copyright is a permission economy. Yes, you have to ask. Yes, your rights of what you can do with other copyrighted works without permission is very slim. But when copyright holders are smart and they give permission in a productive way, cool things happen. Like Black Mesa. So yeah, basically, I wanted to give tip my hat here to Valve for being really, really smart about how to handle its intellectual property, finding a good balance for its company, for its fan base, and really the reason I wanted to talk about this in conjunction with fan art is because I think other companies really need to learn from this rather than going after fan art creations, rather than trying to target this as a form of piracy. Treat this as what it is, a community expression. Encourage it, nurture it, enable it, maybe even offer systems to enable these creations, and then set clear guidelines for what is and is not okay. Valve has made itself very clear what its rules are over the years. I think every other company with very large fan communities should do the exact same thing quickly. Because you'll find that if you set the rules down, if you make it clear what you're okay with, most of your fans will follow it pretty meticulously, and you won't have many legal issues. But if you don't set the rules, you're going to have fans unintentionally tripping over them and then doing things that are unethical or wrong. And then they're like, what? I thought that was okay. And then you've got a big stink on your hand, and next thing you know, everyone's upset at you, even though you just thought you were following the rules you had set forth a long time ago. So clearly state your rules. Allow and enable fans to express their love for your work and to build the community that is appropriate for what you are creating, and awesome things can and will happen. Believe me, I don't think Black Mesa is going to hurt Valve's bottom line, even though they do still sell Half-Life. Actually, it's $10 in Steam. You can buy it right now. You can also buy the orange box. But basically, I don't think it's going to hurt Valve, and I think, if anything, this is really going to help them because it's created a lot of buzz around a game that, let's face it, ain't exactly the newest one. I think it's 14 years old. How often is it a 14-year-old game gets this much buzz? Just think about that a second. Anyways, that's all I've got for this week. So until next time, this is Jonathan Bailey signing off.